Chapter 21. The Spiritual Powers of a Tathagata. Chapter 22. Entrustment. Chapters 21 and 22 describe how the bodhisattvas who emerge from the earth in chapter 15 accept Shakyamuni Buddha's entrustment to propagate the Dharma Flower Sutra. The Buddha then displays countless spiritual powers to delight the hearts of living beings. He also praises those who uphold the sutra and encourages the assembly to uphold, read, recite, explain, write out, and practice it after his parinirvana.
The Spiritual Powers of a Tathagata. Chapter 21. At that time, in the presence of the Buddha, bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, equal in number to the dust particles in thousands of worlds, who had emerged from the earth single-mindedly, with their palms joined, gazed upward at the Honored One's countenance, and said to the Buddha, "World Honored One, after the Buddha's parinirvana, we shall teach this sutra extensively in the lands where the World Honored One's transformation bodies have entered nirvana. Why? Because we, too, wish to realize this true, pure, and great Dharma, to uphold, read, recite, explain, write out, and make offerings to it." At that time, in front of Manjusri and the others, including numberless, billions of kotis of bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, who had long resided in the Saha world, as well as bhikshus, bhikshunis, upasakas, upasikas, gods, dragons, yakshas, gandharvas, asuras, garudas, kimnaras, maharagas, humans, and non-humans, the World-Honored One displayed his great spiritual powers and extended his vast and long tongue, which reached upward to the Brahma worlds. Then, from all of his pores, he emitted rays of light of countless, numberless colors, illuminating the worlds of the 10 directions. In the same way, all the Buddhas, seated on lion thrones beneath jeweled trees, also extended their vast and long tongues and emitted limitless brilliance. When Shakyamuni Buddha and the Buddhas beneath the jeweled trees had manifested their spiritual powers for 100,000 years, they withdrew their tongues. All at once, they cleared their throats and snapped their fingers in unison, and those 2 sounds pervaded the Buddha worlds of the 10 directions. The earth quaked in 6 ways. Living beings in those worlds, including gods, dragons, yakshas, gandharvas, asuras, garudas, kimnaras, maharagas, humans, and non-humans, by means of the Buddha's spiritual powers, saw countless, limitless billions of kotis of Buddhas seated on lion thrones beneath jeweled trees in the Saha world. They also saw Shakyamuni Buddha, together with Tathagata many treasures, seated on the lion throne within the jeweled stupa. And they saw countless, limitless, billions of kotis of bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, as well as the fourfold assembly, reverently surrounding Shakyamuni Buddha. Seeing this, they experienced great joy as never before. Just then, the gods in space called out in loud voices, "If you pass from here through countless, limitless billions of kotis of asamkhayas of worlds, there is a land called Saha. Within it is a Buddha named Shakyamuni, who now, for the sake of all the bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, is explaining a great vehicle sutra entitled The Wonderful Dharma Lotus, the Dharma for the teaching of Bodhisattvas, and protected and cherished by all Buddhas. You should all rejoice deeply within your hearts, and also bow and make offerings to Shakyamuni Buddha. Hearing the sound in space, all the living beings placed their palms together, faced the Saha world and said, Namo Shakyamuni Buddha, Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Then, from afar, they scattered all kinds of flowers, incense, jeweled necklaces, pennants, canopies, body ornaments, precious treasures, and wonderful articles over the Saha world. The articles they scattered came from the 10 directions like gathering clouds and turned into jeweled canopies, completely covering the Buddhas in the assembly. Then the world and the 10 directions came together seamlessly as if they were one Buddha land. At that time, the Buddha said to Superior Conduct Bodhisattva and the great assembly of Bodhisattvas, the spiritual powers of all Buddhas are as limitless, boundless, and inconceivable as this. If, in entrusting this sutra to you, I were to explain its merits using these spiritual powers, I would not be able to finish even if I were to speak for countless, limitless billions of kotis, of asamkhyas, of eons. In essence, all the dharmas of the Tathagata, all the masterful spiritual powers of the Tathagata, all the esoteric and essential treasuries of the Tathagata, and all that is profound about the Tathagata are proclaimed and revealed in this sutra. Therefore, all of you, after the parinirvana of the Tathagata, should single-mindedly uphold, read, recite, explain, write out, and practice this sutra as instructed. In lands where there are those who uphold, read, recite, explain, write out, and practice this sutra as instructed, in every place where the sutra is kept, whether in a garden, a forest, under a tree, in a monastery, in the dwelling of a layperson, in a hall, or in the mountains, the valleys, or the wilderness, a stupa should be built as an offering. Why? You should know that such places are sites of awakening, where Buddhas attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, where all Buddhas turn the Dharma wheel, and where all Buddhas enter parinirvana. At that time, the world-honored one, wishing to restate his meaning, spoke in verse. All the Buddhas, saviors of the world, established in great spiritual skills, manifest countless spiritual powers in order to delight living beings. Their tongues reach to the Brahma heavens. Their bodies emit countless rays of light. For those who seek Buddhahood, they display these rare signs. The sounds of the Buddhas clearing their throats, and the sounds of them snapping their fingers, are heard in worlds throughout the 10 directions, as the earth quakes in 6 ways. After the Buddha's parinirvana, should there be those who uphold this sutra, all the Buddhas will rejoice and display countless spiritual powers. In order to bequeath this sutra, they praise those who uphold it. Even throughout countless eons, they cannot praise them enough. The merits of these people are boundless and infinite, like space in the 10 directions, which knows no boundaries. Those who can uphold this sutra have already seen me, Buddha many treasures, and all of my transformation bodies. They have also seen me on this day teaching the Bodhisattvas. Those who can uphold this sutra bring joy and happiness to me, to my transformation bodies, and to Buddha many treasures in parinirvana. They shall see and make offerings to the present Buddhas of the 10 directions, as well as those of the past and the future, filling them with joy as well. The esoteric, essential Dharma attained by the Buddhas seated under the sight of awakening will also be attained before long by those who can uphold this sutra. Those who can uphold this sutra will teach endlessly with delight the meanings of the dharmas, their names, and their words, as the wind sweeps through space with no hindrance whatsoever. After the Tathagata's parinirvana, they will understand the sutras taught by the Buddhas, their causes and conditions, and their sequence, and will explain ultimate reality in accord with their principles. Like the light of the sun or the moon, dispelling all darkness, these people walk through the world, dispersing the darkness of living beings, teaching countless bodhisattvas, and they will ultimately abide in the one vehicle. Therefore, those who are wise, hearing of such merit and benefits, should, after my parinirvana, uphold this sutra. Such people will, without a doubt, realize Buddhahood.